Hey guys, it's Jamie here for another episode of Stretchy Sundays. We're going to do a complete lower body stretch out today, starting from the bottom, working our way up to our hips. So we're going to get started straight away. We're going to go into a downward dog type position where we're going hands to feet and just pressing down through our heels, trying to keep our back nice and straight as well. So we're on one side, left heel's pressing down towards the ground. I'm pressing my hips back towards the back of the room. And again, as always, we're going to hold for 30 seconds in each position. Try and take a few deep breaths. These are supposed to be nice and relaxing, bit of recovery, rehabilitatory type sessions. Then I'm going to swap legs to our right foot, so pressing our right foot down. You might find they're a little bit different in how they feel. It's totally normal. You might be able to walk your hands in a little bit closer, push your heel down a little bit more, or push your hips back. Just make sure you're feeling that stretch down through your calf or the back of your lower leg there. Again, deep breaths, nice and relaxing. We're just going to drop down to our knees and flip around to our butts. We're going to go into a perineal stretch. So similar to a hamstring stretch as you would do seated, except we're going to grab the inside of our foot and twist our foot like so. So we're going in, you can bend your knee if you need, twist your foot, but then try and push your knee down and come to straight. So you should feel that down the outside of your lower leg. You can also do this one from standing. I'll show you that on the other side. Few deep breaths. Feeling that stretch down the outside of your lower leg. And then release. If you wanted to do that stretch standing, we'll pop up to our feet. I'm going to do it on my left side, so tilting my left foot over and then bending down to reach down through the inner part of my foot. So my foot is on its edge, its outer edge, and I'm reaching down to the inner or the sole of my foot. I'm just going to hold that position for about 30 seconds. Whichever one you find more beneficial, you can do. If you have any ankle stability problems, maybe do the first option, as this one can be a little bit challenging. And then release that. We're going to pop back down to the ground and on our knees, and we're going to do a hip flexion stretch or extension stretch. So we're in this position here, trying to have that knee directly underneath our hip. So we're not pressing too far forward like so or too far backwards. It's going to be up nice and tall, and then from there we're just pushing that hip forward, going the stretch down through the front of our thigh. This is a particularly good stretch for pretty much anyone who's been doing any leg weights and or running or sitting for long periods of time. These ones can get quite short because they're always moving kind of forward, they're always shortening, so it's good to lengthen them out. And then we're going to swap legs, so same position, step that foot to wherever you're comfortable, making sure that knee's underneath your hip, not leaning backwards, we're just up tall, pressing forward through my left hip towards the front of the room. And trying to feel that stretch through the front of that leg that is on the ground, through your quad type area or your hip flexors. Remember to deep breathe, nice and slowly, pushing into the stretch more with each breath. And then release. When we release on this side, we're going to stay in this position kind of. Just bring your front foot out a little bit further in front of you and then come onto your heel and press your hips back and bend forward like so. Hands can go on top of the knee. I like to reach down towards the ground. Just try and keep your back nice and straight. We're aiming to stretch through our hamstring. So we're trying to keep square through our hips, press our hips back towards the back of the room, and then reach down towards the ground. Heels on the ground, I'm pressing back, feeling that stretch through my hamstring, and my back is somewhat relatively straight. And then release. We're going to swap to the other side to get that one done. So starting in that forward position, walk your foot a little bit further forward and then push your hips back, heel in contact with the ground so kind of the foot comes up, and we're pushing back. So back's nice and straight. If you can't reach the ground, have something next to you or on your knee to keep nice and stable. Trying to reach forward to the ground as far as you can. Just pressing back through those hips. Few deep breaths in and out, feeling that stretch through that hamstring. If you've done any recent activity, they should feel pretty tight, as mine do. And then release, so come forward. Next one we're going to do is the inner part of the upper leg. So in through here, we're going to start kneeling, coming out with our foot out to the side like so, and then all we're going to do from there, so reach out as far as you can, push your hip down towards the ground. It's almost like you're kind of pushing your hips backwards and feeling that stretch down through that inner side. If you need to, you can reach down towards the floor, give yourself a bit of support. Try and maintain that nice square position so hips are back, your back's straight. I feel the stretch more when I'm upright, so I'm going to stay in that nice upright position. And release. And swap to the other side. So the foot goes out, hips go back, pushing your hips back. So you might need to widen your stance a little bit. You're almost driving your hip down towards that way as well. Adjust your position if you need. Get the most out of your time in this stretch position. Down to the ground. Then take a seat again on our butts. And then from there we're just going to do a glute stretch. So shake your legs out, bend one knee up, bring it over the top, and hug it into the opposite shoulder, like so. Can add a little bit of a twist in through your lower back as well. Knee to opposite shoulder. I'm now using my elbow to pull it over to the other side and twist. And just holding that position up nice and tall through my chest Not letting myself fall forward, staying up nice and high. And then release. I'll show you that from the front. So seated, right knee comes over. I'm going to hug it in to my left shoulder to start with, and then if I want to try and get a bit of movement through my lower back as well, I just twist through there, making sure I'm still pulling that knee in across to the other side of my body, feeling the stretch down through that area there. Trying to stay up nice and tall through our chests. And then release. And that'll do us for our complete lower body stretch out. Hopefully your legs are feeling nice and loosey goosey after that one. Cheers.